Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. We are again diving back into some other Linux commands. These commands will help you make your workflow far more efficient. If you are a developer or a data scientist or a Linux enthusiast, stick around. You will learn these commands and these commands will help you to save time and work faster. As you can see, I'm working on Windows Subsystem for Linux, and this is my directory for the purposes of this video. There are a couple of files for the demonstration purpose. Some of the commands that I will be talking about are grep, echo, wget, wc, and more. So let's get started. The grep command. The grep command is a very useful command. This command basically is like a detective which basically searches for certain keyword phrases or terms that the user has specified. It can effortlessly allow you to search for the text of your interest across files. Let's say you are searching through tons of log files, code base, or certain texts which are within a larger directory, then this would allow you to do this kind of activity pretty quickly. In this case, I have a list of fruits within example.txt. I can show you. So you can see that there's a list of fruits which are mentioned within this. And let's say I want to find out in the terms where the particular phrase fruit appears more in common. Let's say so that you will type grep fruit, and let's say fruit example. So you can see that there are two particular entries within example.txt which basically satisfy this match. But as you can see, it can basically filter out a large set of lines in a very quick manner. So you can go through hundreds of logs without actually scrolling through this. grep also has some other parameters and flags which are associated with it, such as grep-i, which basically allows you to search for these terms without case insensitivity. So let's say we have example.txt, and in this term we can see that the term which I'm interested in searching is banana, but the B is not capital. But when I search it with -i, you can see that that particular term has been displayed. So you can see that the term the case insensitivity aspect has also been implemented. Similarly, let's say if you are looking for a particular function that you are interested in this case I have a py file. Let's say you are interested in knowing where the function is located. Let's say grep. Let's say let's search for it recursively. In this case, it's not required. The recursive aspect only comes into play when you are searching for this particular terminology within a folder multiple times. So if there are several other folders, subfolders within a larger folder, that's when the recursiveness can be used. But in this case, we do not need it. But therefore, let's search for func. There's the function here. Search it. So you can see that it has returned. It has basically searched through this entire py file and basically has located where func appears. So it therefore allows you to trace the function call in a larger code base. Similarly, if you are a system administrator and you want to work with several systems, you want to know which resource is being allocated to what process. So in that scenario, grep can also be useful. In this case, to list out all those processes which are happening on the system, you write ps-aux. So when you do that, you will see an entire list of all the processes which are running on your PC. So let's say ps-aux, and we basically pass the output of that command using the pipe and basically filter it into grep. And the grep command basically, let's say in this case, we are interested in looking into processes which are associated with Apache software, and let's say so the output of ps-aux is basically sent to grep Apache, and in this case grep basically goes through the entire list and basically returns us the term where Apache shows up. So it basically indicates which process is associated with Apache. So in this case, you can see one of the processors is involved with Apache, and therefore it's pretty handy if you're a system administrator and you want to manage software running on your servers. In this scenario, you basically use it. Another command, as you can see, that a lot of our real estate has been taken up. We want like to clear it out. So for that, you will basically use the command called clear. So when you type clear and enter, you see that it has cleared your terminal back to a blank slate. So the next command that I will be talking about is the echo command. The echo command is highly useful command for you to display and print information. Echo is powerful for showing you text or variable values. It can allow you to debug scripts and set up prompts. Let's say you are a viewer, right? So let's say hi viewer. So yeah, as you can see, echo basically prints this. It is similar to print in Python or println, or similar to the other programming languages. In this case, we are just simply printing this particular text into the shell. Let's say you have a value for user, and let's say the name is Alex. Enter. Let's type echo hello, comma $user. So here we see that the value variable user has been annotated with an extra dollar symbol. So it tells the interpreter that this user is basically a variable, this term user is a variable, and that you would like to print the value which is stored within this variable, which is Alex. So when you type user, hello user, so in this case you would expect to see hello Alex, and that's what you will be getting. Similarly, echo command can also be tagged along with writing text files into backup log. So let's say if you have echo, let's type, let's say you have performed backup logs completed on the date. Let's say in this case you type $date and basically type into backup underscore log txt, and let's say whether it has been created. So you can see, right? So with the help of echo, you can basically dynamically insert command outputs. It allows you to automate certain tasks, and therefore you can save a lot of time. So this is pretty interesting. Moving on to another command is that we would like to talk about is the wget command. So the wget command is a command which basically fetches files from the internet. It can allow you to automate a lot of downloads or scrap data for your analytical purposes. In this case, let's say I am trying to download an image from Wikipedia. Let's say you would require the image link. So you would type it wget, then you copy paste that particular link, and then when you press enter, it would basically go to the server. It will perform a request. You will get hold of this particular data, and it will be transferred to you through the HTTPS, and it will get stored on your local directory. When you enter, it will basically it will send an HTTP request. It will once it authenticates you as a user, and you get that particular information, and that data is downloaded, and that JPEG file is basically saved on your PC. In this case, you can see that the image file liberty.jpg is basically saved. What's another interesting feature is that with wget, you can also scrape all the images for a site. So let's say you want to recursively download all the JPEG files on the particular link. So let's say we type wget recursively, we search for all the JPEG files. Okay, let's do JPEG, and then let's type Wikipedia, all, and let's say New York City. In this case, we are going to download all the JPEG files associated with New York City. So once we perform that, it will resolve your connection, it will authenticate, and then it will scrap all the data, and it will store it in a separate directory called en.wikipedia. So let's say, so you can see that that new directory has been created and all the files would be stored in it. Another interesting aspect of using wget is that you can basically perform a number of other tasks as well. If you, let's say, if you want to resume an interrupted download, in this case, I do not have a file for that demonstration purpose, but you would basically do, let's say you have an ISO file and it's a large file, and then you want to perform wget, C. So you basically say to the it basically says that it will continue the download when it was stopped. Let's say you have HTTP, some data, and then large ISO file. So it will download, resume the download once you have done this. So it's pretty useful. Or similarly, you can also perform the same task by changing this flag to B. So it will perform the download without any interruptions to the terminal session in the background. So the download will be continue to happen in the background. The next command that I would like to talk about is whoami. This command is a quick way to know which users are logged in, and if you are working on a multi-user system with several users on your local network, and you would like to find out who are the users, or you can run this kind of command by coupling it with sudo. So in this case, let's simply type whoami. So you can see that I am Linux. So this is my username on this system. So that particular information is basically returned. This kind of data can basically be coupled with scripting. If you are trying to authenticate the administrator and you want to perform these kind of tasks, then you basically combine it with this script, and then it will basically share this information and can be performed on remote sessions if multiple users are logged in. This is pretty handy for that kind of use case. This is a little bit advanced, but and goes beyond the scope of this video. Therefore, I would like to move to the next command. The next command is the sort command. The sort command is used for organizing your data efficiently. Sort basically goes through your entire line of files one by one, and therefore performs a data processing task. In this case, I have a file called numbers.txt. Let's see what are the contents of numbers.txt. You can see that it basically has numerical information in it. If you type sort and numbers.txt, you will be surprised that it is not sorted. Well, the reason is sort function basically needs to be given a particular flag associated with it in order for it to perform this. So you basically add -n, and when you press enter, it will sort it in a ascending manner. So you can see that has been done, and the same thing can be done if you want to reverse this order. See that it does that in a haphazard manner, but it works. Let's say I had that fruits.txt. Let's say I would like to sort the example.txt. So you can see that it has been sorted in an alphabetical manner, and I would like to now reverse the order. You basically tag it with -r, enter. You can see that it has reversed this entire process. If you want to only sort unique values, you basically add the u tag. In this scenario, I do not have any repetitions, and yeah, so it will basically remove the non-unique values, and you'll get it as sorted. The next command that I will be talking about is the cal command or the calendar command. Cal command basically is used for quickly checking dates. It will basically display you the calendar. It is handy for checking out dates as well as scheduling certain tasks. In this case, let's say if I randomly type cal, oh yeah, one more thing. If it is not installed on your system, you basically perform apt sudo apt install and cal, depending on your internet speed, it basically would get downloaded. Not sure what is the issue. Yeah, let's try that again. Yeah, as you can see, I have to download it, clear it, and cal. So yeah, it's November of 2024, and basically get that particular specific year. But if you want to get hold of the years for 2025, you basically type cal 2025, and then that entire calendar for that next year is shown. If you type cal if you want to look at the December month of 2024, you basically type calendar 12th month and 2024 year. You combine it, you basically get the next month in advance. And yeah, so that's about it. Moving on to another command, we can talk about a command called whereis. So the whereis command is useful in order for you to find an executable path over source code for a specific command. If let's say if you want to find out the binary of of the ls command, you type whereis then ls. So it will print out the entire path is located within user bin ls. For example, if you have Python installed on your system, in this case I'm just Python 3, and enter it, it basically goes and searches for the package where it is located. It is useful if you are installing specific new software, and if you want to confirm all the files are there in the required location. Another command that basically helps you to check the disk space, or if you are managing critical storage, you basically use the df command. So you can see the space which is being consumed by your particular system. You can also type it in human readable format in megabytes and gigabytes. So if you have to pair it with another tag called -h, so you see that the available space and so on. So in similar fashion, if you want to check out if you want to check out the space which is being consumed by a specific directory, let's say in this case I want to check out this space being occupied by demo. So you can see that this is the space. The df command basically can be combined with cron jobs in order to monitor your disk usage, and if you have low disk space, that kind of information can also be sent to you as an alert if you script it. Moving on, the next command that we'll be talking about is the wc command. wc command basically gives you basic statistics instantly, such as the number of lines, words, or characters within the particular file, and it basically can be combined with scripts. In this case, I have a bunch of random text files. I can basically type wc, and let's say if you type it just without any tags, write wc, it will give you the number of lines, number of characters, and number of words which are in this particular file. Let's say I only want to know the number of lines which are there in example.txt. You can see it's 13. So the line count basically is counted and it is returned. Similarly, you can also perform word count. If you perform word count -w example.txt, you basically see that the number of words which are there are 13. So you can say 13 roots are mentioned within example.txt and therefore 13 lines are consumed. But you can also find out specific number of characters which are involved in creating these words together. So if you can type wc-c example.txt, you can see 113 basically there. Um, this is still not um, uh, it can also be clubbed with other files. Let's say we are interested in finding out the number of lines which are occupied by example.txt and numbers.txt. So it will basically divide individually. It will show you that kind of information specific for each of the files. So yeah, this is pretty neat and useful, and you can combine it with scripting. So it's pretty interesting. That's it for today. Each command that we have covered has a unique application, and if you combine them, you can accomplish even more. You can try out these on your terminal and you can experiment with them with different options. So yeah, so let's meet in the next one. Thanks.